Radhe Radhe. On behalf of radhamadhavdham, I welcome you all for this Memorial Day Memon Sadhana Shivir. We are very fortunate and happy to have Swami Maheshvaranand Ji come to Radhamadhavdham and lead this intensive. And let me give you a brief intro of Swami Maheshvaranand Ji. Swami Maheshvaranand Ji renounced the world and went to our yearly sadhana program in Mangar, India in the year 1988 and met our Supreme Guru, Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj. With the guidance and divine grace of Shri Maharaj Ji, Swami Maheshvaranand Ji studied the deepest aspects and the intricate secrecy of all our Hindu scriptures. Shri Maharaj Ji made him a sannyasi preacher in the year 1988. Since then, Swami Maheshvaranand Ji has been traveling throughout the United States, Canada, West Indies, Guyana, Trinidad, where he diligently works with devotees through lectures and devotional retreats to provide the necessary devotional knowledge so that they can deepen their bhakti to Radha Krishna and understand the message of selfless love and service to God. I request all of you to please listen to his discourse very attentively and please switch off your phone or as a token of our respect for Swami Maheshvaranand Ji, I request Naresh Lal Chandani to offer him a garland.
Prathamam Sadgurum Bande Shri Krishnam Tadanantaram Guru Papatmanam Trata Shri Krishnas Tvamalatmana Baraha Pidam Natavaravapu Karnayo Karnikaram Vibhradvasah Kanakakapisham Vaijayantim Chamala Randhanveno Radhar Sudhaya Purayan Gopavrindai Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishadgitakirti Namah Kamalana Bhaya Namah Kamalamaline Namah Kamalpadaya. Namaste Kamalekshana. Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tadghvangha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, राधा रानी की जय, श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। The dearest devotees of the Supreme Lord, divine souls. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. As customary, before I begin tonight's talk, please join me in chanting the divine name of the Supreme Lord for a few minutes. Then we're going to listen to some talk on spirituality. Bhajo Giridhar Govinda Gopala. We are looking for something in this world. Every action we perform, no matter how contradictory or opposite it may seem to be, it is all for one thing only. We are all searching for one thing, and that is called Sukh, Anand, bliss, happiness. Reason that we are part, fraction of happiness. Bhagavan Krishna tells us in the Gita, Mamaivansho jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatana. Chapter 15, verse 7, Gita. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjun, the Jivatma, the individual souls, are eternal part, fraction of him. Chinmatam Shriharerasam Suksham Aksharam Avyam Krishna Dinamite Prahu Jivam Jnana Gunashrayam Ved. The Jivatma, the individual soul, is a fraction, a part of Shri Krishna, God. And it's a natural law, natural, that every part, every fraction has a natural love for the whole and wants to become one with it. Being an eternal part, fraction of Shri Krishna, it means we love and want only Shri Krishna. Natural law. All rivers naturally flow to the ocean. Being a fraction of the ocean, if you look at the flame of a fire, it naturally rises upwards, being a fraction of the sun. In the same way, we, the individual soul, Jivatma, being an eternal part, eternal fraction of Shri Krishna, naturally love and want only Shri Krishna, God. God, Shri Krishna, any name. And who is Shri Krishna? What is Shri Krishna? What is God? The Vedas tell us, Raso vai sahara sakvam hi vayam labdva nandi bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad, chapter 2, verse 7. The Vedas are saying Shri Krishna is Ras, He is bliss, Anand, happiness, Sukh. In other words, whether we say happiness or we say Shri Krishna, God, these are two names for one and the same entity. So we all want only happiness, but from beginningless time, infinity, beginningless time, we have not found even the tiniest drop of true happiness, even once, even in dream. Why? Because we have been looking in the wrong place, where it cannot be found. We have been searching and looking in the material world. New house, new car, big bank balance, handsome boy, beautiful girl, you name it. And why have we been searching in the wrong place? Is there a reason for that? Yeah. Because we have forgotten who we are. Mai kaun hu, who am I? We have forgotten. We have forgotten that I am the soul, Atma. From beginningless time, we have identified with the physical body. We have turned our backs away from God. Dva suparuna sayuja sakhaya samanam briksham parikasva jate tayoranyah pipalam swadat nashnan nanyu abhichakashiti. Shvetashvataro Upanishad, chapter 4, verse 6. The exact translation of this Ved mantra is given in Bhagavad Mahapuran. Suparna vetau sadvishau sakhayau yadichhayaitau kritanidau cha vrikshe ekastayo khadati pippalan manyo niranno pibalena bhuyan. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11 canto, 11 chapter, 6 verse. What is it saying? That there's a tree, briksh, paid. On the tree, two birds are sitting, do pakshi. One bird is Jivatma, the individual soul, we people. And one bird is Paramatma, Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, God. The position of the two birds are like this. One bird has turned the back to the other bird. One bird is eating the bitter fruit of the tree. In that tree there are fruits, but they are very bitter. And one bird is sitting quietly, not interfering, sitting quietly and just observing. The bird that has turned the back, that's us, Jivatma, the individual soul, this one. The other bird that sits quietly is Bhagavan, God. Both of these birds are sitting in our heart. Both. The tree is the material world, and the fruits on the tree are the objects and people of the world. We have been searching for happiness there. Happiness is right here. Not far. All we have to do is make a right about turn. As Jagadguru Kripalu Mahaprabhu would say, a right about turn, a left about turn. That's all. It's right here. Not far, not even 0.0001. How should I say, centimeter or inch? very close. So why have we forgotten who we are? And that has caused us to be looking in the wrong place? One thing, Maya. There's something called Maya. A power that's called Maya that has made us forgotten who we are and is the cause of all our pain and suffering in this world. So the aim of life is to become free from this thing called Maya. How? The Vedas tell us, Tameva viditvati mittumeti nanya pantha vidyate yanaya. Shvetashvataro Upanishad, chapter 3, verse 8. The Vedas are telling us, only by knowing God, Shri Krishna, can the Jivatma, the individual soul, we people, become free from Maya. There is no other way. So we have to know God. We have to. But how? Let's look at this little way. How many paths are there? People say there are many paths to knowing God. Just like there are many rivers that flow to the ocean, so there are thousands of ways to know God. This is what people say in the world. Look, the highest authority, according to Sanatana Dham, are the Vedas. These Vedas contain 100,000 mantras. 100,000 mantras. Out of these 100,000 mantras, 80,000 mantras belong to Karma Kand, the path of Vedic rites and rituals, Varnashram Dharma. I'm not going to go in detail tonight. 16,000 mantras belong to Upasana Kand, the path of love in God, Bhakti, devotion. And 4,000 mantras belong to Gyan Kand, the path of knowledge. So, 3 sections. The Vedas are divided in 3 sections. Karma Kand, Upasana Kand, Gyan Kand. Gyan, Karma, Bhakti. We, the individual souls, are governed by Maya, as I told you. And this Maya has 3 qualities. Ajam, Ekam, Lohit, Shukla, Krishnam, Bahavi, Prajaha, Shrijamanam, Swarupaha, Ajo, Heko, Jushamano, Jahatenam, Bhukta, Bhoga, Majonya. Shvetashvataro Upanishad, chapter 4, verse 5. The Vedas are saying Maya has 3 qualities, 3 gunas, qualities. Sattva gun, rajogun, tamogun. Tribhir gunamaya bhavai rebhi sarvamidam jagat. Mohitam na bhijanati mamebhya paramavyayam. Chapter 7, verse 13, 1-3, Gita. Gita is also saying Maya has 3 qualities that governs us, the individual soul. Sattva gun, rajogun, tamogun. So 3 qualities of Maya. And that Supreme Lord, one God, one Bhagavan. There's only one Supreme Power. That Supreme Power we call God, Shri Krishna, has 3 forms. Vadanti tattas tvavidas tattvam yadgyanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 1st canto, 2nd chapter, 11th verse. That supreme power we call Bhagavan, God, the Bhagavad is saying that he has 3 forms. Not 3 Bhagavan, 3 form. Like water, in its original form is a liquid. If you freeze the water, it becomes ice, but it's still water. And if you boil it to a certain temperature, it becomes steam. If it's condensed, again you have water. So 3 form, that water has 3 forms. In the same way, one supreme power, supreme God, has three forms. Brahmeti, Brahm, the formless aspect of God. No name, no form, no quality, no pastime, only satta, existence. Paramatma, Narayan, Mahavishnu, Char Bhuja, has 4 arms, Narayan. And Bhagavan, the personal form, Shri Krishna, Shri Ram. So 3 forms. So look at it. Vedas, highest authority, divided in 3 sections. Karma, Gyan, Bhakti. That which has made us forgotten who we are, that power called Maya, has 3 qualities. Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. And the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Power, God, whom we have to know, has 3 forms. Brahm, Paramatma, Bhagavan. What I'm getting to the point is that there are only 3 paths to know in God. Bhagavan Krishna himself says to Uddhav in Bhagavad Mahapuran, Yogas trayo maya prokta ninam shreyo vidhit sama jnanam bhaktischa jnanam karma cha bhaktischa nopayonyosti kutrachit. 11 Canto, 20th chapter, 6th verse. Bhagavan Krishna says, Uddhav, there are only 3 paths to know in me, God. Gyan, Karma, and Bhakti. Nopanyojyosti kutrachit. There's absolutely no other path, no other way. Only 3. He makes it clear. You may have heard other paths, yoga, etc. They are only a combination, either a combination of these 3 or some part of it. But mainly, there are only 3 paths. Briefly, everything is going to be very brief, so you have to listen carefully. Let's look briefly at the path of karma, each one of these paths. This path of karma, also known as Dham, Vedic rites and rituals, yagna, Varnashram Dharma. Varna, in Sanatan Dharma you have 4 Varna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. That's called Varna. And you have 4 ashramas, stages of life. Brahmacharya, celibacy. Grihastashram, householder's life. Vanaprasth, forest dweller. And sannyas, complete renunciation. So what a Brahman, what a Brahmacharya Brahman is supposed to do, what a Grihasti Brahman is supposed to do, what a Vanaprasthi Brahman is supposed to do, what a Sannyasi Brahman is supposed to do, etc. I told you 80,000 mantras. This is called karma, dharma. If one is able to do this, in Kali Yuga, impossible. No one can do. If someone is able to do, he acquires something called punya, spiritual merits. And what will punya do? It will take you to heaven, swarg. That's all, nothing more. But Bhagavan Krishna says to Uddhav in Bhagavad Mahapuran, Dharma sampadyate shadbhi radharmastu viparyayah. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 21st chapter, 15th verse. There are 6 conditions, che, sharte, to do dharma. To do a little havan, what is called fire ceremony. A little havan, 6 conditions has to be fulfilled, and all impossible in Kali Yuga. Impossible. And if someone can do, as I mentioned, what do you acquire? Punya. And what does punya do? It takes you to heaven. But Shri Krishna tells us in Gita, Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti evam tai dharmanupapanna gata gatang kama kamala bhante. Chapter 9 verse 21 Gita. When someone performs dharma, if you can in Kali Yuga, impossible. Kali Yuga Joga na Jagya Jnana. Cannot do in Kali Yuga. Impossible. But if someone can do, we acquire punya. And this punya, spiritual merit, will determine which heaven you will go to. There are 7. Bhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satya. Which heaven you will go to and for how long. But Shri Krishna says, once you go to heaven, that heavenly region, and you start enjoying the pleasures of heaven, what happens? Kshine punya. That punya starts destroying. As you enjoy, minus, loss. You put money in the bank, you take it out and spend it, it gets less. And it's going to get less and less until one day it's going to become 0. And then what will happen? Martyalokam vishanti. You'll be kicked out of heaven. Karma has become 0. Punya has become 0. Get out. The Vedas say, Ishta purtam manyamana barishtham nanya shreyo vedayante pramudha nakasya prishte te sukte suktemam lokam hinatam vabhishanti. Mundak Upanishad, 1st Mundak, 2nd Kan, 10th mantra. The person who wants to go to heaven and performs action in order to go to heaven, the Vedas are saying, he is not only an ordinary fool, but the greatest fool, pramudha. The word mood in Sanskrit means fool, stupid. And when the prefix pra is put before a word, it means the greatest, pramudha. Why? Because after you enjoy there, once you enjoy and you're destroying that karma, it's going to finish. And then what will happen? Hina taramba bishanti. Hina yoni. Hin means we will be thrown into lower forms of life. Karma's finish. You have nothing to come back to, so we have to start all over again. After you have enjoyed in heaven as a devata, celestial being, you will be thrown into the womb of dog, cat, donkey, worm. This is what karma will do. Now, if we add bhakti to karma, what Shri Krishna is recommending in the Gita, the whole Gita, 1 verse, 1 line. You want to know what the Gita is saying? You don't have to read the whole Gita. 1 verse, 1 line. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yuddhacha. The whole Gita. Shri Krishna chapter 8 verse 7. Arjun, tasmat sarveshu, at all place. Kaleshu, at all time. Mamanusmara, remember me. Keep me in your heart, in your mind. Remember me. And yuddhacha, your kshatri, perform your duty of fighting the war. So, mamanusmara, remember me. Keep me in your heart, bhakti. And yuddhacha, fight the war, your duty, karma. So karma plus bhakti becomes karma yoga. This will give you God realization. You will attain Shri Krishna and you will know Him. So karma alone will give you heaven. Impossible in Kali Yuga. But if we add bhakti to karma, we'll attain the ultimate aim. Let's look at Gyan briefly too. This path, a lot of people talk about. A lot of Gyanis in this Kali Yuga. No one can do, but everybody think they're a Gyani. Kshurasya dhara nishita duratyaya kathopanishad. The Vedas say the path of Gyan is so difficult, it's like walking on the sharp edge of a sword. Gyan pantha kripan kai dhara. So difficult. Kahat kathin samujhat kathin sadhan kathin vivek. To talk about Gyan, difficult. To understand, more difficult. And to do, forget it. No one can do. Especially in the Kali Yuga. This path of Gyan, the Gyani, he tries to destroy the mind by thinking that this world doesn't exist. He says, Jagan mithya, that the world is an imagination of the mind. Just thinking this world, that Maya is an imagination of the mind, is not going to free you from Maya. In ancient times, people were able to do. And what happened? Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Chapter 14, verse 26, Gita. Shri Krishna saying to Arjun, the person who worships the formless absolute Brahm, the Gyani, rises above the three modes of Maya and becomes fit for knowing him. But this becoming fit doesn't mean he has acquired true knowledge. All he has acquired is a tranquility in spirit where he no longer grieves or desires for anything in the material world, but is not complete knowledge. Because as he says, again in the Gita, Brahma bhutah prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Chapter 18, verse 54, Gita. The Brahma Bhut means one who has realized I am the soul Atma, Atma Gyani, Paramhans, is subject to downfall again and again until and unless he does something. He does what? Bhakti. Mad bhaktim labhate param. He has to do bhakti. Look, Maya, there are two kinds of Maya. Tehi kar bhed sunahu tum do vidya apar avidya do. Lakshman, the younger brother of Bhagwan Shri Ram, once in Chitrakoot asked Shri Ram, the Lord, my Lord, what is Maya? And Bhagwan said, Lakshman, there are two kinds of Maya. One Vidya Maya, one Avidya Maya. One Guna Varika Maya, one Sarupa Varika Maya. Many names. One Maya, Vidya Maya, creates the world, the outer world. Ek rachai jag gun bas jaake Prabhu prerit nahi nij bal taake. Not by itself. Maya cannot do anything by itself. Through the inspiration of Bhagavan, God, Maya creates the world, the outer world. Trees, mountains, valleys, oceans, human beings, animals, etc. And one Maya, Avidya Maya, Ek dushta atisaya dukha rupa Jabas jeev paro bhava kupa. Avidya Maya governs us, the individual soul, and has made us forgotten who we are. That Avidya Maya, Rajogun plus Tamogun, is Avidya Maya. It has made us forgotten who we are from beginningless time. We identify with this material body, and because of that we are thrown into this bhava coop, this ocean of Maya, this world, and we keep suffering in this 8.4 million forms of life. So the Jnani, in ancient time, not in this Kali Yuga, they were able to become, through their own effort, to become free from avidya Maya. They realize, I am the soul, the Atma. That Jnani goes into Samadhi. As long as he's in Samadhi, he's safe. But the moment he opens his eyes, Vidya Maya will take hold of him and he falls. No Jnani, no Yogi, Rishi, Muni can become free from Vidya Maya by themselves. Bhagwan Krishna makes it clear in the Gita. Daivi Hesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mame Vaye Prapadyante Maya Metantarantite. Chapter 7 verse 14 Gita. Shri Krishna, he says, Gunamai. That is Vidya Maya. This is my power. Oh, Meri Maya. Mama Maya. No one can become free from Maya by themselves. Gunamai. Surupa Varika Maya, they can become free. Guna Varika Maya, no one. For that, Mame Vaye Prapadyante. Ev means only. Shri Krishna says, only the one who completely surrenders to him, Bhakti, Bhakti, can become free from Maya. So that Jnani has to do Bhakti. Bhaktya mam vijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvata tatuman tatatu gyata vishate tadanantaram. Chapter 18, verse 55, Gita. Shri Krishna is making it extremely clear. Without bhakti, without the path of love in God, no one can attain Brahma Gyan, knowledge of God. In other words, no one can become free from Vidya Maya. Many places. Look, Shri Krishna says very clearly, after he showed his universal form to Arjun, he said to Arjun, Naham vedaina tapasa na dane na che jaya. Chapter 11, verse 53, Gita. Arjun, this what I have shown to you. Neither through the study of the Vedas, nor through austerities, tapasya, nor through fasting, nor through charity, nor through Vedic rites and rituals, can anyone know me, see me, attain me like this. Impossible. How to know him? He tells in the next verse. In the first verse, chapter 11, verse 53, Shri Krishna is saying, this is how I cannot be known. The next verse he says, Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya ahamevam vidhorjuna gyatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapaha. Chapter 11, verse 54, Gita. Whether one wants to attain my knowledge, eternal, supreme knowledge, know me, gyatum. Whether one wants to see my divine form, drashtum. Whether one wants to merge into me, attain moksha, liberation, praveshtuncha. Whatever you want to attain, one path only. Bhaktya tvananyaya, ananya bhakti, exclusive devotion. The path of exclusively loving Shri Krishna. Only path. Look, there's a beautiful discussion. This whole thing I've been telling you tonight about the supremacy of bhakti is beautifully depicted in a discussion between Gaurang Mahaprabhu and one of his most intimate disciple, Ramanand Rai. Ramanand Rai was an eminent scholar of the Vedas and Shastras. Once, Gaurang Mahaprabhu, you see the scriptures, the saints and Bhagwan, they ask questions that we would normally ask. One becomes the teacher, the guru, and one becomes the disciple, the shishya, the student. One asks the question, one gives the answer. Both are all knowing. One pretends to be ignorant, and both are all knowing, so anyone can give the answer. But for us to learn, one asks the question. So Gaurang Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord, he asks Ramanand Rai, what is the duty? What is the duty of all living beings? Ramanand Rai quoted the Gita, Swe swe karmanya bhiratah sansiddhim labhate naraha. Chapter 18, verse 45, Gita. Every individual must perform one's moral and ethical duty. Now remember, Gaurang Mahaprabhu was not only was he the greatest of scholars, but he was also descension of Radharani herself. And he was having this discussion on the scripture with his most intimate disciple, Ramanand Rai, so that we, ignorant souls, can understand the aim of life. What is our ultimate aim? Gaurang Mahaprabhu said, this is good. But the performance of duty will only give you heaven, Swarg. And I just mentioned to you, the one who strives to attain heaven, the Vedas are telling us, he is the greatest fool. Pramudha. So tell me something better. Isse acha bataiye. Again, Ramanand Rai quoted the Gita. Yat karoshi dashnasi yat juhosi dasyat yat pasasi kaunte tat kurushama darpanam. Chapter 9, verse 27, Gita. The highest aim of the individual soul is to offer all his actions to God, to Shri Krishna. Again, Gaurang Mahaprabhu objected, saying, in this, there is the idea that freedom from bondage can be attained only through the performance of action. Those who want freedom from bondage can do that, but tell me something better. Isse acha bataiye. Again he quoted the Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Chapter 18, verse 66, Gita. Renounce all dharma, all duties, all obligations, and take shelter in Shri Krishna alone, in God alone. Gaurang Mahaprabhu said, look, this teaching is only for those who do not possess true knowledge. You see, Shri Krishna had spoken these words to Arjun, who was afraid of fighting the battle for the fear that he was going to kill his elders, teachers, relatives, etc. So tell me the goal of one who already possesses true knowledge, that I am not the body, I am the soul, the Atma, and the soul is indestructible. So he again quoted the Gita, Brahma bhutah prasannat manasho chatina kangshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatatu gyata vishati tadanantaram. chapter 18, verse 54 and 55, Gita. Now, the first three, in the first three answers he gave, there was a fear of Dham. If I do not perform my duty, I will go to hell. Narak. In this, there was no Dham, but it is mixed with the path of Gyan, knowledge. Bhakti, devotion, mixed with the knowledge of the formless Brahm is the highest aim. So again, the fourth was also discarded. Now, Raman Rai gave the fifth. Jnane prayasa mudapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavati avartam sthane sthita shrutigatam tanuvang manobhir ye prayasho jita pyasita isthilokhyam. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, 10th canto, 14th chapter, 3rd verse. Pure bhakti, pure love, pure bhakti for Shri Krishna, unobstructed by the desire for moksha, liberation, is the highest goal, the highest aim of the individual soul. Gaurang Mahaprabhu smiled. Yes, that's the highest aim. There's a philosophy there's a knowledge among philosophers that where the philosophy of the Bible ends, the Gita starts. And where the philosophy of the Gita ends, Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran starts. Bhagavat Mahapuran is pure bhakti only, pure bhakti. No karma, no gyan, no yoga, only bhakti. This is the highest. The Veda says, Dhanur Grihita Upanishadam Mahasram Sharam Yupasa Nishitam Sandhayit Ayam Yatadbhavagatena Chetasa Laksham Tadevaksharam Brahma Saumya. Ved. In other words, the Upanishads are a bow, dhanush. And bhakti, devotion, is an arrow. What we have to do is to focus our mind on Shri Krishna by pulling the arrow of bhakti, devotion. Bhagavat Mahapuran says, Yathagni he mamalam jahati dhmatam punah swam bhajate charupam atma cha karma anushayam vidhuya mad bhakti yogena bhajatya thomam. Bhagavat Mahapuran, 11th canto, 14th chapter, 25th verse. Hem means gold. When gold becomes impure, filled with dirt, impurities, or in its original form, it is filled with dirt, impurities. In order to purify the gold, it is heated in fire. Shri Krishna says to Uddhav, just as gold, when heated in fire, becomes purified of its dirt, impurities, glows and attains its pure form, in the same way, only when someone sheds tears of selfless love for Shri Krishna, for God, is the heart, the mind purified. There is no other way. Only bhakti. Vishuddhayati hinantaratma Krishna padam bhoja bhakti mrite. Hare. Adi Jagadguru Shankaracharya, who is preaching that Advaita Vedanta, non-dualism, that God is only formless, he is teaching his own mother that without bhakti to Shri Krishna, without the path of love in God with a form, Shri Krishna, the heart, the mind cannot be purified. Lord Kapil, a descendant of Shri Krishna, says to his mother, Devahuti, in the Bhagavad, Etavaneva lokesmin punsam nishreyaso daya tivrena bhakti yogena Mano Mayarpitam Sthiram. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 3rd Canto, 25th chapter, 44th verse. The highest attainment for the individual soul, the highest attainment, the highest achievement is the joining of his heart, his mind, his heart with Shri Krishna through bhakti, devotion. The Narad Bhakti Sutra says, Trisatyasya bhaktireva gariyasi, bhaktireva gariyasi. The path of bhakti, love in God, is supreme in the past, in the present, and in the future. Therefore, tasmat saiva grahya mumukshubhi. Narad Bhakti Sutra. For one who wants to become liberated from the world, he must do bhakti. Naham basami vaikunthe yoginam hridayena cha madbhakta yatra gayanti tattatisthami narad. Adi Puran. Bhagwan Krishna is saying to Narad, Narad, you want to find me? Don't look for me in Vaikuntha. Don't look for me in the heart of the yogis. Where are you going to find me? Madbhakta, this word is important, is not only where his name is being sung and chanted, but who is chanting? He says, Madbhakta. Where my bhaktas, my devotees, those who love me, where they are chanting my glories, my name and glories, there you will find me. Kagbhusunda Ji in the Ramayana says to Garuji, Sab karmat khaganayak eha kariya ram pad pankaj neha sakha param paramarat ehu kariya ram pad pankaj nehu. There are 4 traditional aims of human life: Dham, Arth, Kam, Moksha. You've heard about it, some of you. Dham, desire for righteousness, that you will go to heaven. Arth, desire for wealth. Kam, desire for pleasure. Moksha, desire for liberation. These are called Purusharth. Char Purusharth. 4 traditional aims of human life. The Ramayana, Kagbhusunda Ji rejects these 4. And he says there's a 5th which is the highest. There's a 5th Purusharth, and that is called Bhakti, love, divine love. Panchama Purusharth soi prem mohadhan. Gaurang Mahaprabhu says Bhakti, Panchama Purusharth, is the 5th Purusharth, the highest, the greatest of all wealth, all attainment, the highest attainment. Bhagwan Shri Ram goes to the extent of saying to Kagbhusunda Ji, God himself, he's saying to Kagbhusunda Ji, Bhaktivant ati nichahu prani mohi prana priya asamamavani. Even if someone is a Chandal, there's somebody called a Chandal. He's supposed to be the lowest of the low, someone who eats the flesh of a dog. If he is such a person, the lowest of the low, but he has love for me, the Lord is saying, he's dearer to me than my life, if he has that love for me. On the other hand, Bhaktihin Biranchi kin hoi sab jivahu samapriya mohi sohi. If that person doesn't have love for me, even if he is Brahma, my beta, my son, Brahma, but if he doesn't have love for me, he is nothing but an ordinary soul to me. The part of bhakti, the Lord, this part is so dear to him. Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adav Madhye Tatha Chante Haris Sarvatra Giyate. The Vedas, the Ramayana, the Puranas, the Mahabharata, all are recommended. They are all recommending only bhakti, the path of loving Shri Krishna, loving Shri Radha Krishna, nothing else. This part of bhakti, Bhagwan himself, the Lord himself is saying with his own lotus mouth, he is saying, Bhakti swatantra sakala sukha khani. The path of bhakti is swatantra, independent of all paths. Bhakti doesn't require the help of any other path, no gyan, no karma, no yoga, nothing. Every other path I showed before in the beginning requires the help of bhakti. Bhakti swatantra sakala sukha khani. But binu satsanga na pavahi prani. It is the storehouse of all happiness. But how are we going to attain that bhakti? Only when we associate with a Rasik saint, one who has attained that divine love for Radha Krishna himself. And we are so fortunate to have the association of the greatest Rasik saint, Jagadguru Dham Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, who is only the fifth Panchvi Mool Jagadguru, the fifth original Jagadguru. Not only Jagadguru, but Jagadguru Dham. Maybe some of us don't know what Jagadguru Dham means. Most of us may know, but some of us don't. So in English you have good, better, best. So in Sanskrit, Jagadguru, then Jagadguru Tar, better, Jagadguru Dham, the best. There are 5 original Jagadgurus, only 5. Adi Jagadguru Shankaracharya, Jagadguru Nimbarkacharya, Jagadguru Ramanujacharya, Jagadguru Madhavacharya, and finally Jagadguru Dham Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. 5. Of the 5, the Kashi Vidvat Parishad, which comprises of 500 of the greatest spiritual minds, bestowed upon him one of the titles, many, one of the title, Jagadguru Dham, that among the 5 original Jagadguru, he is the most supreme, the best. And he has taught us this part of bhakti. We're here for 4 days to do bhakti, to practice this bhakti that has been taught to us by the greatest Rasik saint, Jagadguru Dham Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. This is a great blessing. We could not come here without the grace of Radha Krishna, the grace of Jagadguru Dham Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. This is a Maun sadhana. Hopefully we will observe the Maun. Maun means no talking. This is one of the rules very, very strictly observed by Jagadguru Dham Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu for us to benefit. He's given one of this, doing all the sadhana, shivir, intensive, that we should observe Maun during the sadhana shivir. Maun doesn't mean that we don't speak at all. We're going to chant the name of Radha Krishna. We're going to glorify, sing the glories, etc. But we're not going to speak as far as possible anything worldly. Try not to speak to each other worldly things. If you need something, write it on a piece of paper or something. Try not to speak worldly. Let's try to keep our mind focused on Radha Krishna and Guru during these 4 days that we're here. Keep our mind focused. If we practice this way and we keep the Maun, we're going to benefit tremendously. That's why Jagadguru Dham Mahaprabhu has given one of these rules for us to observe. So hopefully, during these 4 days, we're going to practice as he has taught us. We'll be learning more and more about how to do sadhana. There are 2 bhakti. One is sadhana bhakti, one is siddha bhakti. Siddha bhakti we don't do. That will be given to us. First we have to make the vessel. Nirmal man jan so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chidna bhava. God is saying, I want pure heart, pure mind. Only those who are pure in heart, pure mind, can know me, see me, attain me. I cannot tolerate deception, deceit, fraud. This is why we are doing sadhana bhakti, to make the vessel. So we have to do sadhana. That we have to do. When the heart, the mind becomes pure, when the vessel is made, then Guru, a Rasik saint, who has attained that divine love for Radha Krishna, who is himself that Radha, that divine love personified, will bestow upon that Siddha Bhakti. That we don't do. So, this is an entreaty to you, a pratana, a humble request that during the 4 days that we are here, it's a holiday, and most people will be in the world enjoying themselves in the material world, looking for that same thing, happiness, blindly running here and there. Somehow we have been blessed. But that grace, that this is not in the world, we're not going to find the happiness we're looking for there. We'll find it only in Radha Krishna. That knowledge has been come into our intellect. Somehow someone has turned the key from inside. Go to radhamadhavdham. Go in the Mount Sadhana. Attain that happiness you have been looking for, that peace, that true happiness. So if we observe the rules and we practice, and we're going to be given instruction as we go along, some of us, most of us will know. If we don't know, we'll be helped along and we'll be shown how to practice. And we keep that rules, we keep them on, we'll benefit tremendously. There's much more we'll hear as we go along. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Let's wait now for the chanting.